Okay, good afternoon. Today is Tuesday and I'm going to do something different. I'm a bit brave. I'm going to have a coat on because my weather is quite mild. Anyway, so sorry, the outdoor camera on Hive has just picked me up. It says person detected. That's me coming out the front door. Yes, right, so we're going to do something different today, and we're on our way down to Upmister Station now. I haven't done a video for a little while, and the last video only attracted a few views, so obviously people wasn't interested in that one. Can't remember what it was now. Yeah, whatever it was they weren't interested in. It was that good that I can't remember what it was. And so let's make our way down to Basden Station, and we're going to make our way up to Upmister and have a little walk round. Why Upmister, you may say? Well, I will tell you again in a minute. Right, so as I said, we're on our way down to Basden Station to get the train to Upmister. Why Upmister, I hear you say, all two of you that watch these videos. Well, that's where I grew up, in Upmister, when I was a wee laddie. And yeah, when I was a wee laddie, I grew up in Upmister, well, in Cranham actually, which is where we're going to end up as well. And so I thought what I'll do is, it's a pleasant day and I haven't done a walk for a long time. And I haven't done a video walking on my own like this for a long time, so I thought I would do it. And so that's what we're going to do. We're going to go to Upmister. I'm rambling a bit here, I do apologise. Okay, I don't know where I got to there, because what people didn't see was I've just been all the way back home again. Because I suddenly noticed the battery was only half full. Silly me, I did check it, but obviously I should have changed it. But anyway, so I've gone right back home again. That was a massive decision what to do there. Knowing me that I would just go home and not come out again. Anyway, so I'll start again. Right, so we are going to Basden Station now to get the train to Upmister. Why Upmister, I hear you say? Well, because that's where I grew up, or to be more specific, Cranham. So what we're going to do is we're going to go out of Hallmead Station and make our way down to my old school, Hallmead, and then walk up from Hallmead to, I'll probably take the route that I used to take when I was at school. I might even do Engayne. See how I feel when I get there. Anyway, eventually make my way to Roseby Gardens, to where I grew up, and then from there to down Moor Lane, or up Moor Lane, which way you want to look at it. Show you some of my other old haunts, and end up with the Plough for a couple of years. Which was, I used to go to the Crane. I might even pop in the Crane, and have one beer, but from what I can remember, it's crap beer in there. But as I'm walking, it doesn't really matter so much. I can have what I like. I've got no intention of driving today. So that's the general plan. Anyway, so I'll catch you again probably when we're on the train. Okay, so we're in Upmister now. This is Upmister Station. And times I used to come in and out of there when I worked in the city in them days. And go and train, also do push-pull, what we used to call Puff and Billy when I was little. It goes to Romford, with Emerson Park, which is just coming in now. Anyway, right, so let's start our walk. Right, this is Hall Lane. We'll have to remove this barrier. Okay, so as I was saying, this is Hall Lane. This pretty much hasn't changed from when I was growing up here. I can remember walking down here with, I think it's just Anne and Julia, and Moon might have been with the pram, with my mum going to Upmister shopping. This is Engayne Gardens. We'll probably be coming up that one, but we're going to go down Engayne, which is the next one on. Used to have a woman used to walk around here, we used to call her Mad Mary, poor woman. I think she was totally mad. She used to go in all the shops collecting paper bags, because everything in them days was put into paper bags. Didn't have carrier bags in them days. The ladies went shopping with their own shopping bags. All these houses, the majority of them are exactly as it was when I lived here. Well, not in this road, obviously. This has always been a posh road. It still is. When you look at the cars, amazing, when they came out, the weather was lovely. Look at it now. Amazing. And I haven't got a coat. We'll see. According to the weather forecast, it's not going to rain, but that doesn't mean nothing. Now that's something that wasn't here. Residential home. That was a house. Because residential homes are springing up everywhere. Big money in residential homes. Okay, so we're approaching Engayne Gardens now. And we're going to turn right down there. Which will take us down to Marlborough Gardens. Every road around here has a bit of history to me. Doesn't mean that it's got to anybody else, because I shouldn't think anybody that had the history with me would be watching this video, unfortunately. But there we go. So right, Engayne Gardens. It's amazing, really. I mean, when you think it was 1960s and 70s that I did all my walking around here as a kid. All finished when I joined the army in 72. But up until that point, I was always walking around here. Didn't have cars in them days. I still remember all the roads and all the turnings. And along here, one of these houses on my left, was a young lady living called Jane Threadwell. And she was my next door neighbour to my nan in Minster Way. And she was my first ever girlfriend. Just a little thing I thought I'd throw in there. I wonder where she is now. I digress. So right, this is, again, as you can see, very expensive houses around here. I'll give you one last look before I pause this till we get to the next turning. Because there's nothing else to say down here. And as we turn the corner into Marlborough Gardens, interview will come, Hallmead School. This was my school from 1966 to 1970. And I reckon if I went in there now, I would know where every classroom was. Apart from the ones that weren't built then, because obviously they've extended the school since I was here. But let's have a look anyway. Hope I don't get in any trouble for filming somewhere with there's children. So this is Hallmead School. Now that piece over there, can't quite see it, I'll come into view in a minute. That was sort of built and while I was there, that part there wasn't there, but that's the gymnasium over there, I remember that being built. And there's this piece here, that's new, then that's the main hall through there. My form classroom was in that building there. I was in Greenhouse, I wonder if it's still called Greenhouse. Hopefully with all the tags and everything I put on there, it might come out. I remember all that block being built. I think that was built sort of as it was opened up just as I went there, and that was the science block there. Mr. Matthews was my teacher over there. God, it seems like only yesterday. That was the science block. That was the chemistry lab. And but I think it was, no, biology lab was up one, chemistry lab in the middle, then the physics lab the other side. TD, technical drawing, was over there. I should imagine that's all computers because it wasn't in my day. And I don't think it went up as high. I think they've added that on since my day. God, I can remember walking all around there. My God. Bloody hell. Anyway, there we go. That's Hallmead School. That made me who I am today, I think, that and the army. And probably the NHS ruined me. Okay, so right, we'll carry on walking down here. Let's pause for the minute and we'll catch you again in a minute. Oh, hang on, before I forget. We used to walk down here, in my first few years, I think 3 years of here, about 1969, I think the rule changed, because we had Ethel Dickens was the headmistress. Miss Hope, who became Mrs. Saunders, was my form mistress, and because my favourite teacher was Mr. Matthews, physics teacher. and but we had to wear a cap as well as our school uniform. And as I think that they dropped that in about my 3rd year. But while you had your cap on, you was not allowed to buy an ice cream or anything. If you got caught with an ice cream in your uniform with your cap on, you was in total shit. And because the girls had to wear a little green berry. So there you go, a bit of trivia for you there. I don't think anybody wears caps these days, do they? But there used to be an ice cream van used to pull up around the corner here. And people would take the risk, me included. I can remember walking down here for years, 4 years of walking up and down here. Because you never had school runs in them days. Parents didn't take their kids to school or pick them up. Kids walked and we walked and we walked and we walked. And didn't think nothing of it, I have to say. Right, so let's start up Marlborough Gardens up to Avon Road. Right, interlude. And that's the playing field up there. Just over there to the left. You can see my finger yet. Right over there to the left. You had the tennis courts, and then there was a swimming pool, which I think is where that new building is now. We had a swimming pool, outdoor swimming pool, and we went in that. Never mind what weather was. From right up until the end of September, I think. From June, maybe even May. Apart from during school holidays, we didn't obviously. We'd go in there. And we was hardy in them days. But like I say, we used to walk in all weathers. So of course we was. Anyway, still walking up here. I'm going to pause for a second, but I'm going to bring you back in a minute. Okay. That's the back of the school there. You can't see because there's a lorry in the way to the roadworks. Typical, isn't it? But take my word for it. Just after the fields there, so at the back of the school play fields, is a few houses. I think it's the 2nd or 3rd house along. Yeah, about the 3rd house along was a young girl called Susan Handley, and I went out of her. There you go, another bit of trivia. Right, so across the road. As you can see, I've decided to carry on walking up rather than doing the right hand turn. I must have missed it because I was talking when I went past it. But I'd already decided I wasn't going to go down there anyway, and to do this straightforward route. So, right, in a second we will reach Avon Road and the Golden Crane, which I'm going to brave and go and have a beer, and it's just a Guinness in there, just so that I've done it and you can see it. Anyway, coming up now is Community Centre, Cranham Community Association. Ah, yeah, of course, here, yes, here brings back memories. There we go, that goes up to the wreck. That's what we used to call that, the wreck. And that goes all the way up there, over that hump there, and that ends up a whole lane. And you've got the Tithe Barn just over to the left of it. This has always been here, Cranham Community Centre. Never ever went in there, but it's always been here. That's nothing new there. Whereas this building coming up on the left, this very new looking building, is exactly that, it's new. Some of the old buildings there. But when we first moved here in 1960, it was just a little hut. It was the medical centre over here, where we used to go to get our injections when we were children, and our cube of sugar for polio. I don't know if they still do that. Right. I think I should just walk up to Engayne and then back again. I don't know how to play this. Or should I? No, I know what I'll do. Yeah, I will. I'll walk up to Engayne. Well, there's the Golden Crane. Had my first pint in there ever. We'll across the road, come back in a minute. Okay, so over there, where them flats are there, was a bank. I'm sure it was a Barclays bank. Then I have a mate that lived over in the flats over there. I think it was in that corner flat over there. This is Avon Road Shops. See how much my memory can remember of this. Because where that on the corner is was a furniture store. I think that's always been a hairdresser's, that's always been a dry cleaner's. That's, I think that was a, what was that? I think that was a newsagent's. That's always been a chemist. That's always been Martin's. That's right, that's always been a butcher's. Yes, that's where we had a co-op. We also had a home in Colonial, and we had a laundrette. I think that might have been the laundrette back there. A lot of the shops now sort of, I forget. I don't remember there being this many shops, I'll be honest with you. I remember doing penny for the guy in out here. I should imagine there's always been a barber's here. Again, I can't remember. That definitely wasn't here. But this here was called Avon Road Sports, which was basically a toy shop. And I can remember when the James Bond 007 DB Aston Martin came out, it was in the window. And we all wanted it. We should walk home from school looking at it. And this was Stanwood Radio, and it still is a electrical shop. Isn't that weird? I think there was a spare shop along here as well. Can't remember. But this was Stanwood Radio. As I say, isn't it weird? It's still an electrical shop. Right, and that's, as I say, that's the Golden Crane. We're going to stop for refreshment and make a decision as to where we're going to go, which way we're going to do this. Not sure yet. But anyway, we'll have a beer. Now this used to be 3 bars. That was the public bar. You had the snug. You had a little door here which was an off licence, because pubs used to have an off licence, and that was a saloon bar. Let's have a look. None of this was here. Look at that. And it used to go, hello there. And it used to go right the way around there. So I grew up round here in the 60s. Okay, shoot. Okay, right, so that's, I've had a pint. I forgot to video that bit. Anyway, so this is the Golden Crane. See you all again.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Bye-bye.
Yes, anyway, nice pint of bombardier in there. Sorry about that, I got talking to people that have lived all their lives, so it's sort of the story of everything else, plus the governor in here is about to move out of here. So it's changing hands again. Right, so this is, oh bloody hell, it seems a lot nearer than it did when I was a kid. Right, anyway, so here we go. I wonder how much this has changed. Do you know, I cannot remember the last time I came down here. XKR there. Beautiful. I cannot remember the last time I come down here. Very weird. A piece of surreal. This is 7 Drive. This road. All the roads around here are named after rivers. Humber Drive. You got the Rodings just up where my Uncle David lived before they moved to Upmister. And there's Engayne. As to what's original and what's not is beyond me. In my day, I shouldn't think it's like that now because all things have changed. You had Engayne Infants and Engayne Juniors, and they were basically 2 separate schools with the same headmaster, who was Mr. Lacey. How about that for memory? And that house on the corner there was owned by Bobby Ferguson, West Ham goalkeeper back in the late 60s, and I used to clean his car for him. And Cranham Baptist Church was where the boys' brigade used to meet. So we had, it's just called a primary school now. As I say, that was Engayne Juniors was that side, and Engayne Infants was that side. So when you was infants, you went in that gate. When you was juniors, you went in that gate. As to what is original and what is not is beyond me. I couldn't tell you. I don't think that was there, over there. What if the uniform's still the same? I'm not going to try and find out. But as I said, that was the Baptist Church. God, remember that. And then further round that bend was where my best mate Paul Gates lived. Right, so let's walk down this way and then we'll make our way through. Now, bearing in mind, I was 5 years old when I started there, and my mum used to walk us to school, and my Anne and Julia would have to go as well because she wouldn't leave them indoors and my dad was at work. So at 5 years old we was doing this walk So all you littens today that have to get mummy take you in the car, we didn't do it in our day. My mum couldn't drive anyway, and my dad was work. Cars were scarce, you didn't see so many cars like you do now. But this is what we used to do, walk down here, all the way to Rosebery Gardens. Must be a good half a mile. And we'd walk down here. As I say, bearing in mind my mum would be pushing a pram with Anne and Julia. Horrible thing to say. And I'm sure I'd get slated for this. But that's where the poor people used to live, in them flats. That's the way we looked at it when we were kids. The poor people lived in the flats. It's probably not true nowadays, because you'd probably find a lot of these are bought. But as it was then, it's all enclosed now. It didn't used to be, it was all open. We'd take a shortcut through there. Right, so what are we going to do here? Right, well, down there was the Merco garage where my mate David Bailey worked. He was what they called a grease monkey in them days. We'll walk up this way. That's back to Avon Road Shops, just to your right there. Some lights. Them lights didn't used to be there. I actually had a crash there through the St Luke's Church. Nothing like it was when I was young. I was a choir boy in there though. That's when I suddenly found religion and I wanted to be a vicar when I grew up. Sorry guys, didn't last. So, right, let's continue on our journey. Now then, I've had a beer, only one, because of carrying on walking, and I'd like to smell the fish and chips. Alcohol, then fish and chips, beer and then fish and chips. Definitely, whoa, terrible. Anyway, let's continue. So, right, this is Brunswick Avenue now. So many memories, so many people. Although all these roadworks didn't used to be here. Didn't used to have all of these bloody problems. The pavements weren't like that for a kick-off. Got a cracked pavement, they'd be down here like a shot changing them. Now things have changed. I had friends living on that corner house there and I can't think who they were. And who the people living there. I can remember when they was building, they built this Brunswick courtyard for old people. Looks like there's a problem there with the 248s. Obviously can't get through. Inconsiderate parking. Anyway, so right, let's, we used to cut through there. That didn't used to be blocked off like that, and there was a pond in the middle with a fountain and everything. I don't know if it's still there. Let's have a look, shall we? Why not? Now we're going to do. How are we going to play this? Looks like the pond's still there. It's all closed in now, which it didn't used to be. I knew a lot of the people around here. Because this is basically the back of our house, our road. I don't know, we'll do a double walk here, I think. Right, so let's have a little look. That's on that corner house over there, that white one. That was Aidan O'Malley lived there, and that corner house there was the Mallandines. Brenda Mallandine. I always fancied her. She didn't know I did. It was never reciprocated. And then I can't remember anything else apart from down there. That one. Am I getting it right? Can you see it properly? That was my mate Tony Hayward lived there. I can't remember his mum's name, but she was married to Keith, who worked in Plessy's. They got divorced, and she went with somebody called. She married somebody called Alan. I remember that. Then you had the Attrells lived there. Martin Attrell, who had an Anglia that he put a Jaguar engine in. Should never forget that. I'm sure I knew some people along there. That was definitely over there, was the Haywoods. Obviously there was more people along here that we knew. But Brenda Mallandine, she's in America now, I know that much. And then along here, you had the Steers. Lived along here, and then the Dodds around the corner. The sons weren't very nice people, but the parents were nice. And right around on the corner house around there, I'm not going to walk down there. That's where I bought my first ever car, my full pop. Oh, actually, I will walk up here and I'll walk back again. But I'll turn the camera off as I walk back so you don't get bored. I wonder if we can still get around the back. That's going to be interesting to see. The steers, I'm sure it was that house there that they lived. Oh, it looks like you can still get around the back and have a walk around there. But let's we'll do this bit first. I've done this bit before when I've been in the car. But we'll do it walking. Right, this was the hump. As I say, I've done this from the car. Look at this, this has not changed. Apart from the fact it's got the railings around them, the swings. It's bloody muddy. Funny enough, I probably would have walked across here in Doc Martens before. So that house on the corner there is where I bought my first ever car, my 100E full pop, 1960. The Dodds, I think, lived in that house there. I'm sure my dad would tell me if I'm wrong. And this was the hump. This was our little area. And the 193 bus used to terminate there. It was a double decker. And we used to sit there talking to them when we were kids, and then it became the 248. These swings weren't there originally, and then all there was, they put one swing up and that was it. And that's probably the original, judging by the rust on it, that's probably the original swing. And I came home on leave, and Lorna hadn't seen me, my little sister Lorna, for years. Well, it wasn't years, months. What was I talking about? Bloody years, months. And then she saw me and she just didn't recognise me. And then just around the corner there was where Dodgy Doreen lived. Right, so, okay. I'm going to turn it off again for a minute and I'll catch you in a sec. So that's still, this is Macon Way, by the way, I forgot to put that bit in. Anyway, it looks like that's still the council office, or is it still the council office? It looks like it still is the council offices. I can remember that being built. Them flats weren't there. These flats weren't here when we first moved here. That was a field at the back there. And we used to have our bonfires there for Guy Fawkes night. And you'll see why in a second, why that was convenient. There, Mum. If you're watching this, this is the back of the houses. Oh, I can remember driving around here. Park the car up. Oh dear, this is going back some time. I caught my late sister Julia on my records escaping down here to give to her boyfriend at the time. Oh, look at this. This has not changed. I kid ye not. This has not changed since the 1960s, 70s. This is no different to how it was. Bloody hell's bells. Look at this. And that was our garage, that one there. And I run a wire across. That was the Forlands house. This is the back now. We had to get across there. My shed was originally there, then I moved it down the side there. Well, I'll be buggered, look at this, eh? Lovely old Defender there. Such a shame seeing like that. No, there you go. That was my bedroom up there. No, it wasn't. My bedroom's the other side, that's right. It was my mum and dad's bedroom. And that was the girls' bedroom. And that was our garage. And I used to leg it over the fence, over that fence, round there, and over into that corner house, because that's where Dirty Doreen lived. So I used to wait till everybody was asleep, when I was about 15, and leg it. There you go, another bit of my life story trivia for you. Okay, so right, I'm going to catch you again in a sec. I can assure you none of this was here before. These garages didn't exist. Right, so in that little pause time, I've made my way back round to the edge of Macon Way to go back through to Rosebery Gardens now. And so this would have been the route that I probably would have done, one of the routes. I used to vary the routes, obviously, depending on who I was with at the time, you know, just walking through with mates, and it might even been girlfriends. Who knows? But this is one of the ways through. And plus the fact I had some friends that lived the other side of this. Right, so we go through this alleyway here. Some of this just hasn't changed. Right, bits of it has like the trampoline and probably that shed, but most of the outlook hasn't changed from when I lived here and I used to do this walk, going backwards and forwards to school or anywhere else. Right, so here we go. We're now in Roseby Gardens now. The infamous Roseby Gardens. Now then, these houses weren't there. I don't remember them houses being. I don't know what was there. I really don't. Would have been something there. Probably perhaps they'd knocked them down and rebuilt them. But I'm sure it was in them houses there. I had a friend, and one of my mates lived there. Why was it now? Do you know what? I genuinely can't remember. Oh, look, pointer. And then over there was the Rentons lived. They really were the poor, whatever. I don't remember what was there. I really don't. Interesting. Right, so let's make our way up Roseby Gardens. Now then, one of these houses, see, I think these were maisonettes, some of these. Don't look like they are now. They might still be maisonettes. I.e., that means they've got a house downstairs and a house upstairs sort of thing. Yeah, they are still maisonettes, look. But I think it was that maisonette there was another guy I went out with, Carol something or other, I believe. Now that bit of gorse land there has always been there, and that's strange. That's always been nothing. Right back to when I was a kid. That has never been any different. Perhaps it's too small, I don't know. No, it's quite big, but that's always been there. Again, this seems a lot shorter than what it did in my day. Well, these houses, apart from modernised windows, and they haven't really changed either side of the road. Now these, where these houses are, used to be a bungalow. That was the Simpsons lived there, not Bart Simpson, but it used to be a bungalow. And this little old lady lived there, and she hated us when we moved in. And that was our house. That's Roseby Gardens, number 98. And that was my bedroom, that one up there. That was where I grew up. And the Crawls used to live over there. Fallons lived there. Dick the Dust, the Petersons, Hardings down the bottom, the Irish family, Adams, can't remember the surname of that one there. Okay, so now I'm going to make our way up Queen's Gardens. Even this doesn't seem as long as I can remember it. So you've got to remember it's 40 years, 50 years since I went down here. 40 years. Good 40 years. My mate Stephen Churchill lived down here. I wonder if I can remember which house it was. I mean, again, apart from the windows, they don't really change much. I'm sure it was that corner house there, that corner bungalow. I'm sure that was their house, number 28. I might be wrong. I'm sure it was that one. Don't know where these people are now, if they're still alive. Every now and then they sort of catch up with me on Facebook or something and then disappear again. People are strange. Oh no, I think it might have been that one. Just past Golden Gardens. I can't remember. Genuinely can't remember. Might be one of these even. Everything seems a lot shorter than what it was when I was young. I seemed to get to places a lot quicker. Which surprises me, considering my length of pace was probably quite good in the 70s when I was in the army. Perhaps because I don't smoke now it makes a difference. Who knows? Right, so we can't top of Moor Lane now. Now, up the top here is Moor Lane Fields, which goes for miles and miles and miles. because I don't think there's another housing estate along here, any housing, until you get to Basildon, like to Langdon. This was another one of our haunts. Right, I'm going to cross the road. Gonna need some serious editing on this, aren't I? Private land, keep off it, you know, that's new. Uneven land, dangerous to the public. That's a shame, we can't go in there. So many hours spent in there, I tell you. Right, so, here we go, along Moor Lane now. This seemed to be a very long road when I was young. Let's see if it still is. Oh, it's really strange seeing that. It's probably just as built up as what it was then, but it just seemed different to us in them days. I don't know. Well, that was Moor Lane, just still is Moor Lane Chapel. Now that was just a hut. That was a weird little prefabricated building. And we used to go there for carols by candlelight on a Christmas Eve. It was nowhere near like it is now. A lot of money's been invested there. That house there is where my mate David Bailey lived. I'm sure it was treble 2. Again, memory tricks here. No, I'm sure it was after Fairholme Gardens. But my mate David Bailey lived either that side or that side of Fairholme Gardens. Apparently he's dead now, last I heard. Did time, I know that. Bit of a loon. Absolutely bloke. His mum and dad hated him. His brother Stephen Bailey. And that's where my grandma lived. Just down there. Again, that road seems a lot shorter than what it did when we were kids. But anyway, grandma, my dad's stepmum lived down there, Fairholme Gardens. No, I think it's that house there was David Bailey's. One of them two. That one, I think it's that one there, with the little blue car in the front. I think. Who knows? Right. Okay, so let's head down Moor Lane. Okay, so here we have a few things. Major gasworks in the area, all done by private companies. Look. And now, what happened to the days when it was all done by a British company, a British Gas, with their own workers doing it all? And now it's all done by private companies that aren't probably British, and then we wonder why our country is in such a state that it's in. Well, I wasn't really going to have a moan in this video, but that's infuriated me a little bit. More to the point though, right, back on track. Kept walking down this bit of the road going down to Cranham Village. It makes me think of two things, and that's two particular pieces of music that were sort of relevant at the time, and that was Edwin Starr with War and The Witch by the Rattles. Don't know why, but this little bit of road always makes me think of them two songs, two tracks. Right, we're now coming into Cranham Village, and this really has changed a tremendous amount, apart from, or not at all, which way you look at it. It's all the shops that are different, but the actual layout and the buildings are all exactly as it was in the 60s. They are 60s style buildings, really. Can't remember too much about what was in Cranham Village, to be honest with you. Unlike with Avon Road, didn't really come down to Cranham Village much. I mean, I should imagine most of these shops weren't here then. I mean, the only factory was Wiley's, for definite. That there, that tower, and everything else, that's London Underground. That's, you have to set up from the train. That's where it terminates, with their big depot. Now along here, what can I remember about along here? Definitely where it says Tesco's Express was Budgeon's, because I worked there for about 3 months. The Cranham Social Hall has always been there, as is Cranham Garage. But on that far corner was a sweet shop, which is Cranham Car Sales. And me, Michael Sanford, whose mum and dad had a ironmongers up there, which then became Fisher's Chip Shop, which burned down. There was a sweet shop, and in them days you used to get your bottle of drink, take it back afterwards to get your money back. And one day we decided to climb over the back fence, get the empty bottles and take them back round the shop to get the money back. Unfortunately we got caught by a copper. In them days you got clipped round the ear hole and taken home. And then got another good hiding off your dad for getting caught. But there you go, that was the good old days, when the police had power and everything else and didn't abuse it. Right, let's cross this road. Right, so this is the Plough. Another happy place. Had some good time in here. And we'll have a couple of years in here. I was in here a few weeks ago for the funeral and hadn't really changed much at all. Okay, so we're in the Plough now. That's where the funeral was, over there. And I'll tell you, it probably hasn't changed that much to when I was in here before, like all them years ago. Okay, just a little aside, over there, right in the middle of this, this bar used to be two bars, like all pubs used to be in them days. And it had an off-sales in the middle. I said up at the Crane. Most pubs did in them days. But I was just sort of standing here thinking, having my beer, my pint of Lana Pride, and I can remember on a Sunday afternoon, bearing in mind in them days that all shops were shut on a Sunday. You didn't have shops open like you do now. And I used to walk down with Claire, our Labrador. And I was working on a farm the other side of Moor Lane. I should have mentioned actually when we was walking around, I forgot that part. I was working on a farm, me and Paul Gates, we used to do like little bits like picking tomatoes and topping the tops of the beans. I can't remember now exactly what we used to do, but it earned us a few quid, because in them days you went out, did Saturday jobs and things like that to earn a few bob. There was no laws and things to stop you from doing it, like there is now, health and safety and all this crap. You got out there and you found a job and you earned a few quid. And I can remember on a Sunday I used to walk down here with Cleo, as I say, a black Labrador, and get a couple of bottles of ginger ale, not ginger beer, ginger ale. And I used to buy some, I can't remember what sweets or crisps or something I used to buy, I genuinely can't remember. And I'd keep that in my little cupboard next to my bed, and it'd be my little treat. I'd feel quite grown up coming down there and buying my bottles of ginger ale, with all things, and crisps. And I'd have this little bedside cabinet, which you did in them days. So bear in mind, we're talking probably about 1969 now, 1969, 70, no, it's probably 69. So it was a very grown-up thing to do, to walk down with my own money that I'd earned and to buy these bottles of ginger beer. And they were proper glass bottles in them days as well. Schweppes, you know who. And I'd take them back, and that would be my little supply. And that would last me a week, because I'd have a little tiny glass and I'd have a little nip of it. Things we did when we were kids, eh? Okay, just another little aside. I'm still in the Plough, and when I was by Engayne, I was saying about the uniform, and I've just seen some young children running around here in the pub with Engayne uniform on, and it is exactly the same as it was when I was there. So when was that? 1960 to 1966, 66. I was at Engayne, so it's a long time ago, and the uniform's still pretty much the same. So that's a nice little thought to go along with. Right, getting a bit disjointed in this video purely because I'm saying things as I feel like it and as I think of it. And I've got a bit more beer to go. Getting hungry now, but unfortunately I don't do food in this place, so I might have to give myself some chips or something, or probably just get sausage in the batter, and before I make my way back up to Upmister. Right, I've just had probably one of the worst sausage and batters I've ever had in life, and I'm now in Danecourt Gardens, making my way back up to Hall Lane. from Hall Lane back to Upmister Station. And I'd have done the circuit. And we got Eversley. So I do remember how it used to be that Engayne used to go into Danecourt. Incidentally, as an aside, there's loads of all my children around, and the badge and the tie is exactly as it was in my day. Isn't that weird? So anyway, we're now in Eversley, and we'll see what happens this way. And as I said, we're going to make our way back up to Hall Lane. We're in the right direction anyway. And back up to Hall Lane, then Upmister Station, and that would be the circuit. And then back home to edit this lot. Although I might even have a little bit of a detour and a beer in Basildon. Right, catch you again in a sec. Okay, so it would appear that Eversley becomes Danecourt. I don't remember it being like that in my day. Danecourt did join Engayne. Anyway, as an aside, that's the back there of the London Underground depot that I was saying about. We are now in Danecourt, so we'll make our way up Danecourt now. That's it, full circle now, and we're back to Upmister Station. So we should make our way back now. Excuse me. Make our way back up to Basildon from here. So we're on our way home now. Oh, I am, not we. It's only me. And had another quick pint in the Wetherspoons, as you do. And I shall get home now, upload this onto the computer. I shall try and edit it tonight. If not tonight, first thing tomorrow morning. All depends on what happens tomorrow, really. The plan is to go down to Gunsheds tomorrow morning to give them a hand down there. For those who don't understand what I mean, that's the Voluntary Association. Shoeing branch, Gunshed, where we keep the 25 pounders. Down Shoeing, straight enough. And then we'll go and play golf. So, depending on everything, hopefully I'll do another video tomorrow. But this one will get up. I should definitely put it up on the computer when I get in. How much I actually edit today is another matter. I should get it up definitely by tomorrow night. The worst comes to worst. And anyway, so please, thumbs up if you enjoyed it. And if you didn't, tell me why not. But please leave me a comment. And of course, please share. So I'll catch you all again very, very soon. Bye.
Thanks for watching my YouTube video. Don't forget to subscribe. Bye.